SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey is disappointed in other people being disappointed yet again. Sankey seems to have to let everybody know every time he's disappointed in somebody. Welcome to episode 354 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Flugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Heather Dinich, ESPN, talking about Greg Sankey. Very disappointed once again, and he's going to let everybody know about it. Greg Sankey is disappointed in the backlash to the final college football playoff ranking. There are a couple things here that I do agree with Sankey on. But again, Greg Sankey, man, I don't know. He's a different type of cat sitting in the commissioner's chair. The most powerful commissioner chair. The best football conference, the most powerful football conference in the country, the SEC. Houston, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey told ESPN he was disappointed in the acrimony that ensued following the College Football Playoff Selection Committee's controversial final ranking last month, which for the first time excluded an undefeated Power 5 champion in Florida State. The College Football Playoff Selection Committee chose number 1 Michigan, number 2 Washington, number 3 Texas, number 4 Alabama at the expense of undefeated ACC champion and number 5 Florida State. Both Texas and Alabama had one loss and ended the season with a defeat in their respective college football playoff semifinal games. Committee members have received significant backlash, including threats. That's not cool. That's not good. Including threats. Since the group's most debatable decision in a decade of the college football playoffs, and the conspiracy theories have run rampant on social media platforms. I didn't need so many incoming emails I receive, Sankey said. I can only imagine hearing from those on the selection committee who are volunteers what they received. I think some of the statements made in the immediacy of selection were disappointing to me as a colleague, and I would maintain that the strength of our league, sure we lost some games, but as I look at what were the 4 best teams, I would maintain that we had 2 of those 4. So even when Sankey is talking about how he's disappointed in other people's disappointment, he still believes Alabama and Georgia both should have been in the top 4, and he's disappointed in that. I don't know. But again, back to the article. But again, the selection committee makes that decision, and we respect the decision. Well, because in the 10 years, 2014 to 2023-24, there's been no year where the SEC has been shut out. I think that may have something to do with it. Immediately following the reveal, Florida State Athletic Director Michael Alford released a scathing statement in which he called the committee's decision unforgivable. ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips called it unfathomable, saying it calls into question the selection process and whether the committee's own guidelines were followed. On Sunday, Phillips told ESPN by text that he will continue to defend the conference. Sankey contributed to the controversy on championship weekend. And I will say Heather Dinich does a great job here. ESPN Heather Dinich of pointing this out in the article. Sankey contributed to the controversy on championship weekend when he appeared on ESPN's College Game Day show and lobbied for his league's continued representation in the college football playoffs. In reference to other teams competing with Georgia and Alabama for the top 4 spots, Sankey said, let's go back to like Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other. That's the Southeastern Conference. So Greg Sankey putting the argument on we're the SEC, not putting the argument on individual schools, lining them up. So Greg Sankey, he's disappointed in so many people, but don't some of those people have a very good reason to be disappointed? It's only Sankey that can be disappointed. If Sankey, if the SEC, if Alabama and Georgia would have been both left out, you don't think Greg Sankey would have said something? I believe he would have said something over what Phillips said, over what Michael Alford said. Greg Sankey was the only guy lobbying, the only commissioner lobbying for both Georgia and Alabama to get into the playoffs before the selection committee made their final determination. I believe Greg Sankey is talking out both sides of his mouth right here. On Saturday, Sankey said he respected the committee's decision to exclude two-time defending national champion Georgia, which sank from number 1 to number 6 after losing to Alabama 27-24 in the SEC title game. The morning of the selection, we had prepared a statement that said, we have a different view, but we're not going to point fingers and cast blame, he said. We're going to focus on how do we improve and prepare for the 12-team playoff. That's it. I think 3 or 4 times we've had the 5th-ranked team. Always with the team in the playoffs, though. Always with the team in the playoffs. So the SEC, as the commissioner, I think there's been 3 or 4 times we've had the 5th-ranked team. It goes down a whole lot better, Sankey, when you have an SEC representative in the playoffs. So you cannot compare what SEC was happened to you in the past than an undefeated Florida State not being in the playoffs, being the 5th-ranked team. You can't compare the two. Sankey said he will attend Monday's night's national championship game between the number 1 Michigan and number 2 Washington, even though this is the first time since 2014, the inaugural season of the 14 playoff, that his conference doesn't have a team playing. Sankey and Phillips, along with other FBS commissioners and Notre Dame's athletic director Jack Swarbrick, will have their annual meeting Monday morning prior to the title game, but no changes to the selection committee's protocol are expected to be made at this time. The new 12-team format will begin this fall, which will prevent an undefeated Power 5 conference champion from being excluded. On Monday, the 11 presidents and chancellors who have the ultimate authority over the playoff could approve the commissioner's proposal to reward the 5 highest-ranked conference champions and the next 7 highest-ranked teams with spots in the 12-team field. Still, Sankey wondered if it would become more challenging for the college football playoff, to recruit people to serve on the 13-member committee tasked with choosing the best teams in the country. So Sankey is worried that people complain that they're going to have a hard time recruiting people to be on the selection committee. Are people going to want to serve in that capacity, given the level of vitriol directed, he said. They're volunteers. They fulfilled their charge. There's always disagreement, but it shouldn't sink to the level it has. Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti said doesn't think the aftermath of the selection day will prevent others from serving on the committee. At the end of the day, people really respected the process and realize how important it is, he said. Whether you're an AD or someone who's playing and has been asked to join or may not be a current administrator, I think there's so much love for the game and how important the job is. People will always stand up to it. It's our job to make sure those people feel safe and comfortable. Petitti said his focus was respecting how difficult the job is and that this season's controversy further show that 4 isn't the right number of teams in the field. And that is the main lesson we have learned once again. 4 is not the number. 4 was never the good number to have at playoffs in college football. You could have 5 undefeated Power 5 conference teams and one's going to be left out. That makes no sense. 4 was never the number. But again, Greg Sankey is disappointed. Look, one part of I agree with Greg Sankey is the incredible vitriol, the attacks, the personal attacks on the committee members. I get that. There should be no threats at all. That's ridiculous. I agree with Greg Sankey. But him coming out saying he's disappointed once again in others people's reaction. This Greg Sankey continues to do this over and over and over again. In public, he keeps talking about how disappointed he is in other commissioners. Look it up. Google it. He's done it before. He's going to do it again. I don't know, man. Greg Sankey has a lot of power. He's got the most powerful seat in all of college football. He's a smart guy. He's a successful guy. But he keeps coming out and telling everybody how disappointed he is in everybody. This sums it up for me. The Florida State beat writer, Sankey will not only piss down your leg and tell you it's raining, but he will then tell you he's disappointed in you for complaining about it. It seems like Sankey thinks he's the only guy who can raise any disappointment on any issue because he sits on top of the college football world. Well, Greg Sankey, this is the Rebel Outpost of All College Football YouTube channel. We're going to call things out and we don't agree with it. So are the commissioners of the other conferences, the G5 conferences, beat writers. Greg Sankey, you lobbied hard for the SEC schools. They should both be in to the college football playoffs. We disagree with you, Sankey. We were disappointed that even one of them was included. It should have been Florida State. But we disagree. We all went forward. Again, this is weeks after this has all happened, and Sankey has to make it public once again that he's very disappointed in others people's disappointment. Put down your comments and thoughts in the comment section below the video. Let me know how, once again, I'm being too tough on a Power 4 commissioner. Let me know once again, I'm being too tough and too unfair to the great Greg Sankey. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.